South Bend City Council, January 23rd, 2023.
Call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. Get right to our agenda here. Do we have any items from the public tonight? Does not appear that we do. So moving on to item 4, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda, the consent agenda, and the minutes from January 9th, 2023.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Do you have any correspondence?
No.
None? All right, it's now 5:31. I'm going to open the public hearing for the CDBG closeout for the water treatment plant. I guess it is considered done. And so this is a public hearing. Everything that was done for the upgrades and the expansion with the third skid of membranes for the water treatment plant. The funding was 750,000 CDBG grant and a 40-year low interest loan of $3 million. So is there anyone from the public that would wish to speak to this? Does not appear that there is. So at 5:31 and 30 seconds, I'm going to close the public hearing for the CDBG closeout. Thank you, Eric, for coming. Appreciate it. Eric Nolan here with Gray and Osborne, ready to speak to this if needed. So let's move on to item 7, which is the memorandum of understanding between the City of South Bend and Queensburg Union Local Number 252. This is reflective of the 3% wage increase and the 7% COLA for 2023. So I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, so item number 8, resolution 2023-01, a development fee schedule in conjunction with the South Bend Municipal Code. So do you want to give a little update on this?
Sure. So the last time it was done, I did it in 2014, so that's quite a few years ago. And we're a little behind on a few of the items on the fee schedule. And there's also some items since we updated our zoning ordinance that were not addressed in our fee schedule. So those have been updated in here as well. A lot of it hasn't really gone up, but some of it has a little bit. I did I guess a cost estimate amongst the cities and towns around here, like size and stuff, and kind of that's where the numbers come from. And then another one that we were looking at, the mayor and I, EBZO, we talked about hookup fees. They've been pretty much the same thing since I think it was 2009. So we were a little behind on that one, so we decided to go ahead and up that one where it's at now.
Okay,
And that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
thank you. I would entertain a motion to approve resolution 2023-01.
So moved.
Is there a second? Wyatt seconds. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving on to department head reports. Police Chief Stiegel.
Hello. With the start of the legislative session, there are a few bills that are going to be impacting law enforcement, hopefully to fix some of the issues that have come over the last couple years. I'm getting weekly updates from WASPIC about these bills and where they're at. I'll be providing them to you guys in the next week or so that you can see where we're at and maybe reach out and contact some of our legislators in support of these. They would be really helpful for us as a police department. The good news is most of our legislators in our area are in favor of these, but it always helps to reach out and let them know that we're in support of them. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Supervisor Haupt?
Just, one item, basically, I got in contact with not Marine Floats, but Quigs on the docks. And it sounds like Marine Floats is gonna be here middle of next month. They'll be able to do everything, the tie-ins, the water. The only thing is waiting for the parts for the electrical. So I think the pedestals will be up, but they won't be producing any power at that point. So that's supposed to happen in the middle of next month. I guess I do have another item too. We had our WCC meeting in quite some time. So Eric Lamonte, Eric Weidberg and myself went out to the wastewater treatment plant and kind of looked at everything that's going on out there, and it's in pretty dire shape. It's in bad shape. So Eric, it was nice having Eric Lamonte on board. You know, he deals with he's engineer, sewer systems and all that.
That's what he
stuff.
does every day.
Yeah, so he had firsthand, knowledge of what was happening out there. So we took a lot of notes, a lot of pictures. He's gonna put together a skeleton memo of what's going on out there as far as risks. And I think he's gonna present that to GNO and ask for an actual risk assessment on what's going on. At that point, we'll get that and be able to go after funding. But it's pretty gnarly out there.
How much of that 10 years do we have left? That nobody really.
We
knows.
asked Eric about that, and he didn't really know. I imagine it's 3 years or so, something like that. I would think,
Yeah, it's either 2 or 3 years. It's gotta
yeah,
Mhm.
it's getting close,
be. Mhm.
so we should really jump on that as soon as possible.
Yeah,
But Eric Lamonte is working on that, so hopefully we're something fairly soon and then we can move forward with
I'm
that.
still waiting for an answer about why those buildings weren't piled.
Yeah, especially to hear that there was extra pile left over.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, it's worth a trip out there if you guys.
Yeah, I
are
mean, I want to
interested.
go
I mean,
out there. Just give them a call.
It's an
and-
eye opener for sure. I was telling the mayor about it. It's pretty serious.
Yeah,
We need to address it sooner than later.
yeah, like Julie said, we can't afford another $51 million.
No,
Mm-mm.
no. And at this point, we kind of have an avenue of what funding to pursue, if we have to declare an emergency or something like that, we're stuck with whatever we get. So,
Well, we can't do any more real big loans out there. I mean, we're gonna bankrupt everybody in town.
Yeah.
We can't afford another one like we had.
but we really need to be proactive and.
Yeah.
Kathy has some pretty good leads on funding sources.
She did, yeah, and there's some federal things that
That's
are
Kathy
available right
Reed.
now too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's for the Department of Commerce,
Yeah.
State Department of
Mhm.
Commerce.
well, we definitely need to pay
So you guys
attention.
were obviously together there, we're kind of on the outside here. Is this normal wear and tear that is
No.
expected,
No.
or is this stuff that is?
No,
Okay, here's what they predicted of settlement, kind of like this. And in the last couple of years, it's gone kind of like that,
Yeah, it was supposed to flatten out.
settlement.
So
It
part
was
of what's
supposed to-
happened, Darren, is some of the buildings, most of the actual buildings are put on pilings and they're not sinking.
But the control room.
But the control room wasn't, and the conduits that carry all of the piping and the
Yeah.
electrical and everything were not.
Yeah.
So they're sinking and the buildings are staying, so
And
everything is
breaking.
breaking and shifting.
Wow.
And big voids are being created out there. They just re-asphalted, what, 3 years ago, 2
Something
years
like
ago,
that,
something
yeah.
like
Yep.
that. And there, you can hardly walk on it now. It's all broken and cracked and
Yeah.
there's voids underneath of it. It's awful. Absolutely
yeah,
awful.
and the
Yeah.
geotechs predicted that it was good. It was gonna stay.
It
like
would,
was.
they said over time it would stabilize.
It would stabilize.
It's, the arc is still continuing.
Still
It
going.
really has not begun to stabilize
Yeah.
at this point. It's still dropping. One that I looked at, I believe was 2 inches it dropped in a year.
Yeah,
Only 1 point, that was the worst one. Most of them weren't that bad. Most of them were about an inch, but this was 2
Yeah, but in
inches.
1 year,
Yeah, in a year.
20 years, that's 20 inches, that's 2 feet.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
no way to go back on the contractors on that one?
This has
we've
been
already
litigated.
litigated and it's
Yeah.
gone.
So
to
we've been
settlement
litigating.
and
I do have a
everything,
question. Is there a way to go back and retrofit a pile? Can you do that?
That would be a question for Eric. I'm not sure on that one.
I think he's gone.
He's still here.
Eric, are you still there?
I am, and I was listening, and I would really have to defer to the structural folks on that. That would be the geotech and also our folks in the structural department, Myron. But I can get you an answer for that, certainly. Whether you can retrofit the existing piles with additional pile to support.
Where no piles exist.
I think the structures that are on pile are
They're fine.
stable.
Yeah.
It's-
They're fine.
it's everything.
Can we go back where there are no piles and put them in?
I actually did talk to Mike Johnson about that the other day after my discussion with Dennis, and he didn't give me the answers, but he has been discussing that and looking into that, and he will be in touch with you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'm sorry, I don't have any answers.
I think that's part of what Eric DeMontney is doing.
Right.
Putting this together so that a risk assessment could be done and a fix for it could be outlined so that we could then apply for funding to do the fix. But until that happens, we don't know exactly what we need or what
No.
can be done. And so that's what needs to happen first.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, but it is a serious issue right now. Yeah. So. Anything else on that?
No, that's it.
Okay. I don't have anything. Nothing? Okay, I just have one thing and I just wanted to bring it to your attention today. We have the $50,000 in ARPA funds that's been set aside for the Cheney Park Playground. And we did not receive the grant funding that we had applied for to get the big playground equipment down there and do what we wanted to do. But that $50,000 needs to be expended by the end of the year. So next week, I want us to have a conversation about what we want to do down there with $50,000 basically, instead of the 100 roughly that we had thought it would take to do the grand plan. So, and I've got a book, I'm gonna order a new one. There's a playground equipment book in my office. It'll give us an idea of some things that we can go with. There are smaller versions of playground equipment that we could get that aren't as big and elaborate. It would be something for the kids to do down there, but I thought you guys might want to weigh in and help us decide what to do and where to go. So anyway, that'll be next week for discussion. We'll have
The
it
next
on
council.
Oh, yes, sorry, yes, at the next council meeting, not next week, at the next council meeting. I think it's 3 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, we have a 5th Monday this month.
Yeah.
So in 3 weeks, just kind of start thinking about it a little bit, what you'd like to see down there and what
Maybe you
My
can,
parents might like.
maybe you can email out something out of the book.
I can, yes, I'll
Or
throw a
a
copy
link-
of a few
a link
pages.
to where you're looking, so we can go in.
Yeah, there might be a web, when you get the
There
new
might
thing, there
be, I
might be a
think it's
website.
playgroundequipment.com.
Oh,
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I believe that's the book that, and then there's several companies out there, you know, they're not the only one. But that's the one that we had found.
yeah,
that
but if you do
the one that we-
playgroundequipment.com, you're gonna get 100 of them. So
No, it's
That's
our
the
website.
Website.
But typically you find most of them don't put their prices. It's always contact.
No, there's
There's no pricing.
I think it does already.
The catalog has prices, but it's 2 years old, so I
Yeah.
need to get an updated catalog, and I had to order the catalog.
Yeah,
the
if we
first
think
time
it changed
around.
now.
But you
So,
will get
yeah.
information. on
Yeah,
other
sure.
companies.
Oh, I'm sure it's went
Anyway,
up.
Yeah,
So I got a question about that.
yes,
So that money, the $50,000,
Yeah.
that's a grant.
that's that, American Rescue.
Yeah, the ARPA funds.
So when
Yeah.
this comes, like say if we happen to get things, the question I have is like the school construction classes,
Yeah,
with that being that money, are they allowed to maybe donate time for their construction class to come over and help? And I mean, I'm just talking about saving money,
Yeah,
you know?
Wyatt might know a little better than we do on that.
Well, it depends how much time, when we looking to putting this stuff in,
Yeah,
Mayor,
that'd be the big thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If we knew well enough ahead of time and
yeah,
Yeah,
notify them that they could get it on their docket and then maybe, I'm just looking at saving
yeah.
money and giving them some experience to come down and work on it and do stuff for them.
mhm.
I'm hoping that we can make a decision in the next month or so. I mean, we're 3 weeks from the council meeting, get something ordered and then do it before school is out at the end of the year. Is
Right.
what I'm hoping, so that it's there for summer for baseball and everything.
Yeah.
It's kind of what I'm
Yeah.
hoping for, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, if we know a date that is coming, we can definitely look at doing some of that stuff.
Mhm. Okay. That was all that I had.
You tell you, they're no fun to put up. Yeah, doing
Well,
fine.
this will be near as big as what you've had practice with. All right, so moving on, item 11, do we have any public comments regarding the current agenda items from tonight's meeting? Does not appear that we do. So let's move on to council comments. Counselor Williams.
Yeah, I'm glad Lucas brought that up about what's going on. I really think that's important to kind of overturn some of the things that's been happening in the police departments. And I'd really like to know, you know, as soon as he can send that out, I'll gladly reach out to our representatives and
Oh,
that's about it.
Counselor Davis?
Nothing.
Counselor?
Yeah, same thing. I think a lot of the things that were legislated were just knee-jerk
Right.
reaction and need to be reviewed and looked at. And Lucas, I'm telling everybody, lock your darn cars. And it's really, it just amazes me, and it's probably because I'm from California, where I had all kinds of locks and steering wheel locks and everything. But people still, they leave their car running when they run into the store. And we're,
It's crazy.
you know, we're not in Kansas anymore, folks. And, you know, you gotta wake up and, you know, make it easy on Lucas. He's got other things to do, so.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, he's on vacation.
No, and I always look forward to Lucas's reports. They're always informative and well put together. I really appreciate it. And that's it.
Counselor Mandel?
Nothing.
And Counselor Kuiken?
I just gotta say, reflecting back, looking, you know, about 10 years ago when I first got on the planning commission and we were talking about things. How we wanted to see the vision of the city, you know, a little bit of growth, playgrounds, things of that nature. And I think it's all coming together. You know, you look around the city and, you know, in the last 4 or 5 years, there's been a lot of buildings put up. So we definitely got some new stuff, not really much for new business, but there is a little.
Yeah.
You know, and you're starting to see some of that starting to come about. You know, the talks of the playgrounds, talks of all this stuff, so. You know, I think we're definitely meeting the needs that the community put forth and asked for, so I think we're heading in the right direction.
We're trying.
Totally agree.
All right. Do we have any future agenda topics? All right. Well, thank you everyone for attending tonight. We are adjourned. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Craig.
If we just get my Taco Bell